Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Today we are going to imbibe 18th January 1993 Avyakt murli. The title of the murli is The Basis for Revelation is a firm promise. Today Almighty Baba is celebrating a meeting with his almighty children. Almighty Baba has given as a birthright to every child the treasures of total awareness. That is, the treasure of all the powers as soon as they took Brahman birth. Each Brahman soul claims this right, becomes complete, and also makes others complete. BapDada has given total awareness to every child very easily within a second. How did he give it to you? He reminded within a second. So the awareness become the key for the total power. You remembered my Baba, and Baba said, my child. So Baba gave this spiritual awareness, that is the key to all treasures within a second. You accepted Baba as yours and you claimed the complete birthright. So you received it easily, did you not? Or was it difficult? It was easy, was it not? Now, each Brahman soul says with faith and intoxication, Baba's treasures are my treasures. You have made Baba's treasures your own. Today is said to be the day of special remembrance. This day of remembrance is the day for giving total power to the children. In fact, the day of Brahman birth is the day for attaining total power. However, there is a special importance to this day of remembrance. Do you know what this importance is? Today, on the day of remembrance, Brahma Baba made himself a Vyakt in the physical corporeal form. He willed a special willpower to the special children in order to reveal them to the world. Just as in the beginning he willed himself, all his relationships, and all his wealth to the Shaktis for the sake of service. In the same way, on this day of remembrance, Brahma Baba, through the corporeal form in the corporeal world, willed all the willpower to the children, to the Shakti army, in order for them to play their corporeal part for the sake of world service. He himself adopted the form of an Avyakt incognito server and made the children instruments for world benefit in the corporeal form. That is, in the corporeal form. He willed the willpower for service. This is why this day is called the day of remembrance, the day of power. Do you understand? On the basis of that remembrance, BapDada is seeing that in this land and in foreign lands, children in all four directions are becoming instruments and are continuing and will continue to progress in service because the children have a special Trimurti blessing. You have the blessing of Father Shiva anyway, but as well as that, you also have the blessings of Father Brahma, the bestower of fortune, and together with that, you also have the blessing of the sweet virgins of the Mother, Jagadamba Saraswati, Mama. This is why, with the Trimurti blessing, you are experiencing the right to easy success. As you progress, there will be the experience of easy methods and elevated success in all four directions. There is the zeal and enthusiasm to reveal BapDada and that there should be revelation very soon. This is what everyone wants, is it not? When will it happen? Should it happen tomorrow, that whilst sitting here, you hear the bugles of revelation. It has already happened, but what do you simply have to do? You are doing it, and you have to do it. In order to blow the bugles of complete revelation, you must just do one thing. Not even two, just one. What is that one thing? You children are the basis for bringing about revelation, and children have to especially underline one thing, because the balance between revelation and a promise is the basis for all souls to receive blessings from BapDada. You make a promise every day. You do make a promise, do you not? Yes, Baba. So, why is there a delay in the revelation? It should happen now, should it not? So, BapDada saw that you make a promise with your heart and with love. But what is it? We have to check ourselves. You do make a promise, but one is a promise and the other is a firm place. What is the sign of a firm place? You may die, you may die, but you can't break your place. When it is a question of life, then no matter how many small problems arise or how fearsome the circumstances may be from time to time. What are all these in front of a question of life? It's a question we have to think ourselves and analyze ourselves. Accordingly, we have to imbibe ourselves. So, this is called a firm place. No matter what the circumstances are, the external circumstances cannot make the stage of the self fluctuate at any time in any situation. You can't, you cannot be defeated, but you will become the garland around the neck. You will become part of the rosary of victory. You will become part of the rosary of victory. You will become the decoration around God's neck. What wonderful is this line. This is called a firm thought, that is a firm place. So you have to underline the word firm. To make a promise means to give the practical proof. But at present, sometimes some children make a promise and together with that they also play a very good game. You must have understood by now. You have become very sensible. So, what games do you play? When any problems or circumstances come that become an excuse to make your promise weak. When any problems or circumstances come that become an excuse to make your promise weak. Instead of solving that, you play many games of giving excuses. Baba is asking from all of us now, you are very clever in this. You are very clever in this. What is the language of giving excuses? It was not like that. It was like this. It was not like that. It was like this. If if it had not happened in this way, it would be like that. If it had not happened in this way, it would be like that. This one said this, one did this. This one said this one did this. The circumstances were such, the situation was like that. So, like this and like that, etc., etc., is the language of giving excuses, and the language of a firm place is whether it is like this or like that. It's a very important line we have to imbibe ourselves. Whether it is like this or like that, I have to become like the Father. It should be the final goal of our life. I have to become. I do not have to make others this. I have to become. It should not be. I will only be good if others do this. If others give cooperation, only then will I become complete. Only then will I become perfect. Instead of receiving in this way to become the master bestowers and give cooperation, love and sympathy is in fact receiving. Remember, the meaning of Brahman life is to give is to receive. In Hindi, देना ही लेना है. The receiving is merged in the giving. This is why the basis of a firm place is to see the self, to see the self, not others, to change the self and to maintain your self respect. The self respect is of being a master bestower. What will you do in this Avyakt year? Will you go from Madhuban having made a promise and then when you return home, will you play the game of giving excuses? Instead of your promise being firm, there is one main reason for the promise being weak or for your being loose in fulfilling that promise. For instance, no matter how big any machinery may be, Baba is giving examples of any machinery. Even if one tiny screw becomes loose, what will happen if one screw becomes loose? It makes the whole machine useless. In order to fulfill such a promise, you make very good plans and you also make a lot of effort. However, the screw which makes your plans and effort weak is carelessness. In Hindi, that is called as a albelapan that comes in different forms. It constantly comes in new forms. It does not come in the old form. Tighten this loose screw of carelessness. It should not be. This happens anyway. No, this has to happen. This happens anyway. This will do. This is carelessness. Again, I am repeating this sentence. This happens anyway. No, this has to happen. This happens anyway. This will do. This is carelessness. It will happen. Just wait and see. Have this faith. Without faith, we can't achieve anything in our life. Dadi, Didi, have faith in me. It will happen. It should not be. It will happen. It happens anyway. You definitely have to become like the Father. You have to become that now, not at some future time. Now, there is a third reason for making a firm promise weak. Previously, also, you are told something amusing. How some children have sightness, whereas their long sight is very sharp. दूर की नजर बहुत तेज है, नजदीक की नजर कमजोर है. In Hindi, we can say like that. The short sight is to see the self and to change the self. And the long sight is to see others. And what do you see in that? You see weaknesses and not specialities. This is why there is a difference in the zeal and enthusiasm of their determination. Even the seniors do this. We are the little ones. So the long sighted vision of seeing weakness weaknesses deceives you. Because of this, you are not able to put the promise into a practical form. Do you understand what you have to do? So now, do you know do you know how to tighten your screw or not? We have to think what type of a screwdriver is going to be used by Avyakt BapDada. You have the screwdriver. You have the screwdriver of understanding. Do you not? You have all the tools. Do you not? So, in this year, make all these three the same: to understand, to have the wish to do something, and to actually do it. It should not be that you understand that you wish to do something, but then you say, what can I do? What can I do? To make all three the same means to become like the Father. If BapDada tells everyone to give it in writing, in how much time will you write it? In a second. Na? It is easy to write on a piece of paper, to write on a piece of paper. What we can say? It is easy to write on a piece of paper is not a big thing. Write on your forehead with the ink of determined thoughts. Do you know how to write or not? Do all of you know how to write? Do you know how to write on your forehead? Or do you only know how to write on a piece of paper? Did all of you write? Those who wrote, raise your hand. Was it firm? It was not weak. Was it that it can be erased in 2 days? Look, there are complaints that sometimes you make a weak promise. You have to fulfill it even if you die. You must not break your place. Only such a determined thought will easily make you the same as the Father. Otherwise, sometimes there is labor and sometimes there is love, and you will continue to play these games. Today, although all the children in this land and abroad are physically there at their own places, in their mind, they are in Madhuban. This is why BapDada saw the alaukic experiences of everyone on the day of remembrance. You have had very good experiences. You have also done service. Baba is congratulating each child for their alaukic experiences and their service. The pure thoughts of everyone, their sweetheart to heart conversation, and the garland of the pearls of love have reached BapDada. In return, BapDada is also putting a garland of love around the neck of the children. Each child must accept a special personal love and remembrances by name. BapDada has such a powerful spiritual wireless set. BapDada has such a powerful spiritual wireless set that the sound in the heart of each child reaches BapDada. At the same time, not only does the sound reach Baba, but even the loving face of each one emerges in front of Baba. This is why seeing all the children personally in front of him, Baba is giving a special love and remembrance, acha, to all the powerful souls, to the elevated souls who keep a balance between a firm place and revelation, to the children who are the same as the Father, who constantly make all three the same, to understand, to have the wish to do something and to actually do it, to the victorious jewels who constantly defeat problems and become the garland around God's neck. Almighty BapDada's love, remembrance, and namaste.